Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 9, Episode 5. Also, maybe we're just gonna call it Episode 1?
I mean, it really felt like the season actually began. Someone went home, Ru was done, she looked like...
Ru looked good, finally. She looked like Ru.
I was like, oh, Ru has come and arrived. Oh, I love it. I love it. They had a mini challenge. Yep. They had a real challenge. I mean, it was like crazy. Well, I want to talk about my fucking fabulous shirt. And your fucking fabulous shirt. Okay, we have two fabulous shirts. Because, Jesus is a biscuit. I mean, I just...
Let him sop you up.
Oh, I just love it so much.
It's really great. And then, some meow meow jujube realness.
Some drunken untucked jujube realness.
Meow meow meow. Yeah, Steva. Meow.
Meow meow meow.
Meow. Congratulations, Steva. Meow meow meow.
Love it. So moviebitches.threadless.com, you can buy your very own.
They're both available.
Yes. You can even put it on like a shower curtain.
I mean, right? Then you can really, pray.
Really, Jesus is a
pray
biscuit.
to Latrice while you're in the shower. It's a religious experience.
Isn't it? So also,
sure.
If you didn't notice, we have a new fun little thing. It's made for wine. Shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink, trywink.com/moviebitches. But we felt like some absolute acai loved this drink.
And it worked.
And it did. So, we were very excited when we found that.
Got a little mascot. So, the episode starts. And Trinity does not skip a beat.
No, she's like, bye, boo, boo.
She's just like, and she is like...
Which actually annoyed me because I was like, they haven't read a single one of the goodbye messages.
No, but to be fair...
Or even shown them.
To be fair, we looked them up and they were real boring.
They were real boring.
Well, so it's evident that Shay and Sasha are just...
Oh my gosh,
on top
feeling each other.
Well, they're feeling each other, but they're also just on a high of being we're fabulous.
Yes.
Which I didn't mind. But then, remember, Nina is just like...
I wouldn't mind seeing certain people struggle a little bit and be in the bottom. Sue me.
Sue me.
Sue me. What?
Bullets through me.
I love you.
So we get the sense that, we'll talk about Nina. Nina is a flawed character. I love her. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming to a head.
Yes.
And there's two roads that she can take.
Yep.
And I really hope that she rises to the occasion.
I hope so too.
That's what I'll say. So they go into the workroom. And Ru comes in and she goes,
who's up for a mini challenge featuring hot, bulging menses?
Yeah!
Finally, we got a pit crew, we got a mini challenge.
The pit crew's, that's what I mean. This literally felt like the opening episode.
It's just so fun and silly. These selfies were just the silliest.
Oh, right. Well, so the challenge is get into beach drag.
Yep.
And take a sexy selfie.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have mattered less, and it couldn't have been stupider, and I loved every second of it.
Oh, here we go.
Can you get under my leg?
Really, Valentina stood out because, I guess they showed more of her, but also because she was
Well, she wrote a narrative.
Yeah.
Once again, she's like, I'm controlling the narrative. I'm going to bring it to me. The attention will be on me. She's standing behind a little scrim.
Can you present me as Miss Venezuela?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning Miss Venezuela, Valentina.
It was a whole thing, and I loved it.
Great.
I was just like, this is everything.
Yeah.
And she comes out, she looked like Lanisha Sparks to me.
Oh.
Kind of. She had, I don't know, it was like a little something pageant with the hair, and I don't know.
Yep. I thought it was fun.
It was totally
all of them were silly and whatever. I did not understand why Alexis won, but who's to say?
I have a theory, but I thought Farrah actually took the quote-unquote sexiest selfie. I was like, oh, she looks really cute, and knows how to take a selfie, because I feel like some of them didn't.
Do you think it was just because it's the Broadway challenge
Yep.
and she won? Okay, cool.
Yep, I think it's because she is the Broadway girl, and so Ru thought, great, she's going to make herself the lead, so this won't be a complete clusterfucking mess. And then she can, gauge everyone. That's what happened.
Most likely.
And then guess what happened? She picked herself as the lead. I mean, it was just like, come on.
Yeah.
It writes itself.
Yep. I was disappointed in the show.
Like the musical?
Yeah.
That wasn't great.
I mean, okay, well, first of all, I'm like the last person to ever appreciate this because they were naming people and I was like, I have no idea who that is.
So I've sort of made it a point to actively know as little as possible about the Kardashians as I can.
Likewise.
Like, I literally am like, I don't care, and I also actively don't want to care.
Yeah, I have no idea who any of them are.
When they were like, I couldn't tell Kylie or Kendall apart, I was like, I don't know who that is. So, we're probably going to say some stuff. You guys are going to be mad. We don't know about this Kardashian and that kind of... I mean, literally the only reason I know anything about the Kardashians is because of this podcast, Who Weekly. Every time they're talking about someone, I'm like, who? What? I got nothing. Literally nothing. So I knew who Tyga was. Specifically because of that.
So I was like, oh, it's a musical about the Kardashians. Cool.
I couldn't tell if it wasn't funny because it wasn't funny or if it wasn't funny because I don't know anything about the Kardashians. Like, when they were critiquing Nina, they were like, I don't know, I just didn't get a lot of Chloe from you. I was like, I don't... okay. I was like, I don't know that she had her lip sync down. Like, yeah. I was like, she did
have her lip sync down.
I was like, she lip synced great. I guess it wasn't Chloe enough. Like, I was like, I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you.
So Alexis is assigning everyone's parts.
Yeah.
Playing the part of Black China, the newest Kardashian, Miss Shea Coulee.
Yes! Really, bitch?
I was like, why didn't you give it to Nina, right? Like, Nina hasn't won anything since the first non-episode episode.
So some of Alexis's choices were like shady.
Kourtney, Aja, Kim Kardashian, Cynthia.
Like, it was so not the part to assign Cynthia. I mean, maybe she would say it was for the butt, but it did seem weird that she would give Shea the scene-stealing role when she had just won. When you want to give it to somebody who would maybe fuck it up.
Exactly.
I did think it was funny when Peppermint was like...
In Kardashian the musical, my black ass is playing Britney motherfucking Spears.
Where does Kris Jenner come into it all?
What do you mean?
I've never understood that.
What do you mean? Like...
Oh, sorry, Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh.
Wait. Kris Jenner...
is their mom.
Oh.
Kris Jenner is all the Kardashians' mom.
That was Alexis.
Yeah, Alexis played Kris Jenner. She has the 3 daughters, Kourtney, Chloe, and Kim.
Okay, and who?
With Rob, no, Rob is their brother. With Dad Kardashian, who was OJ's lawyer friend.
Right.
Rob was the brother. Maybe it's named after the son?
I don't know.
I really don't know, but I probably should anyway. They got divorced. Then Kris Jenner, the mom, married Bruce Jenner.
And that's when she became a Jenner.
That's when she became a Jenner.
And that's why all the kids are Kardashian.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we know the rest of the story.
But then who are
Kylie and Kendall, I believe, are Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner's kids. They're like the next generation.
Got you.
I think.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So they've all got their parts. Nina's mad.
Yeah.
She needs to get over it. You know what she was reminding me of a lot? Alaska, her first season. She had a lot of like self-destructive, just like you see the talent and she'd be great and then she'd, retreat. Then she'd be great and then she'd retreat.
Yep.
And so I'm just hoping that like she takes the path that Alaska took. It was like, I'm embracing this. You know, like, yes, let's do this, because she was just in a piss poor mood about it.
I have no other character in mind except Blac Chyna. And I'm very upset.
She was like paranoid too.
Well, and that was really interesting.
Just being like mad, she was like, oh, this is like a plan or whatever.
That like Ru really picked up on that real quick.
Oh, Ru gave her a pep talk?
Yeah. Counseling.
Which is the only reason I think she was in the bottom.
Fair.
Because I think there was other people that were more forgettable.
Oh yeah.
And
worse.
And I think she was in the bottom specifically so Ru could be like, girl,
Yeah.
give you this pep talk.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But so Todrick is going to be their dance coach? Choreography.
Their
Their director.
Sure.
Eureka goes up first, and we see that she's in crutches this episode. That explains why she was in the chair last week. We didn't know. But Eureka had a really good attitude.
Oh, she had a really... I
whole
thought
episode.
She was just, like, really very impressive.
She was just like, I'm gonna work through this. It's not, you know, like, I gotta do what I gotta do. And she was not complaining. I'm sticking it out.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just gonna do whatever I can.
I was really proud of her.
I was too. I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, nothing holds big girl down. I'll give you a one-legged hop move like Saved by the Bell.
But I was like, you know what? She took in what was told to her and then decided she was gonna really work on it and then project that back out. Like, I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna talk over people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, have a good attitude. You know, like, all the things that people were like, girl, we hate you. She was like, okay. This whole season is very, like, mature in its, like, I'm a crazy bitch. You know, you should really work on being this crazy bitch. Okay, I'm not gonna be one anymore.
Yeah.
And seemingly,
that's enough.
they've just changed their whole personality, and you're like, what? Like, what's, like, doesn't that seem like what's happening this season? Like, with Aja.
Aja's just
It's
like,
girl, you're being a crazy bitch. And she's just like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
And then she's not anymore. It's really weird. So anyway.
Can we talk about... Okay, I thought Aja was supposedly a dancer.
Oh, yeah. She was, like, not. And she was dressed like she was in, like, middle school gym class. And it made me laugh.
But I just love this Cynthia's like, it's just a cha-cha, girl.
It's just a cha-cha.
Wait, what?
Girl, how are you Puerto Rican and don't know how to do that?
And then Farrah can't play patty cake. Like, she was... Insert Roger Rabbit joke here.
Patty cake, patty cake, patty cake, patty cake.
And you could tell that Valentina was doing it right.
Yeah.
Like, you could just tell that she was like, girl, what? Like, get it together. Like, what's happening?
But she didn't throw her under the bus or anything, which is nice.
But, like, in her eyes, you could just see that, like, Valentina was like, I am doing this correctly, but you can't, like, this is a two-way street. We have to do this together. Like, what's happening? And it was just so funny that she couldn't get it.
It's really funny.
Yes.
So, in the workroom.
Yes, we're in the workroom.
It gets real serious.
This definitely is starting to feel like, and now it is my turn to share my tragedy. Like, a little bit.
Before I get kicked off.
Before I get kicked off. A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all very emotional stories. They're all important stories, but it's starting to feel like, next up, you know, so-and-so's gonna talk. It's just like, oh my God. So it's time for the Let's Share Our Story of the Week in the workroom. And Eureka...
I never really got a chance to apologize specifically to you all. You were having a vulnerable moment, and that's not respectful of me to diminish anyone else.
But then it opened the door for this really nice conversation about how Sasha suffered from anorexia all through her 20s, and then Valentina says that I'm
Probably still have an eating disorder.
Oh, sweetheart.
And before I left, I promised my mom that I would eat every single day.
I thought it was a really important, good conversation.
Totally.
Which I tweeted, not realizing that it was from this episode, not last week's, but whatever. A lot of people retweeted it, so I don't care. It was just like to see them having support in each other, you know, and it was like, and it was a nice thing to bring up that conversation for other people.
But it was non-judgmental, which was
yes.
Valentina was like, you know, I'm still like, I feel like I have to force feed myself.
Yeah.
And they weren't like, what, girl? Oh my God, blah blah. You know, they weren't like judging her. They were just like, yeah.
They were just supportive of like, yeah.
That's real or whatever. So that was a nice like,
it's true.
Conversation to have.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
We're not going to have a commercial break.
Because...
Some of you, thank you so much for, well, first of all, some people sent us money on PayPal.
Yeah, they did.
I'm really pissed. Alaska Thunderfuck said she was going to give us $10,000. And that snake, we have yet to see it. So what the fuck? But thank you. And then a lot of you mentioned Patreon.
Right.
Which we had never even heard of. And so we've set one up, and you can just be like, here's all of my money for Drag Race. If you guys donate, then we can actually focus on this all of the time. And we can just, like, be movie bitches all the time. And that sounds great to me.
Yeah.
So let's make it happen.
Oh my god.
Also, leave in the comments, there's different rewards.
It's like Kickstarter. Like, you can
exactly.
Like, if you donate this such amount, you get this or whatever.
So leave comments of what you would want the different rewards to potentially be.
Yeah.
And that way we can cater to what you would want. I won't have one of the rewards be nude photos of myself, but we could get playful with, like, shorts.
Just the bathing suit area. Let's move on. The runway.
So Ru comes out.
Jesus Christ. It was like, oh my god, Ru is back.
Right? I was like, oh, thank God, she looks gorgeous.
Oh my God.
Her hair is fucking fabulous.
Her hair and face.
And her dress was lovely.
It was just like blue and silver brocade, just decoupaged. Like, it had like volume.
It did.
Texture.
Right? Yeah, there's a lot of texture.
It was really good.
It was. I loved, was it Shay?
Hey mama, you look so good tonight. It's damn near simple.
You thought she hadn't noticed.
That's right. She called it out. She says it like she sees it.
Yeah.
Well, so the only reason I'll mention this is going to become apparent. Meghan Trainor was the only guest judge. Oh, well, Todrick was there, and she was wearing a unicorn snuggie. Yeah. Or what are those called? Those are like a thing now. Like where you're
onesie.
Like, I'm gonna say it. I don't care for the onesies.
I like a onesie, like a pajama onesie.
Really?
Yeah. Why not?
Like you're all
buttoned up.
No. Don't care for it.
I like it.
What, like long johns?
Well, but it's like a one. Like I have one from Nasty Pig.
Wait.
That advertised on Drag Race.
You have a onesie?
Yes.
You have a pajama onesie? Don't you feel like a weird baby? Like you're like, and here's my butt flap. Like, doesn't it feel weird? I feel like it's weird.
Well,
maybe
this one has sexy snaps for the butt instead of a flap. I think maybe it is because I'm a guy.
It's like
I don't know.
Easier to be like, oh, I gotta pee, instead of when you're a girl, it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I saw her in this outfit and I was like, oh no. She's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, her songs are catchy.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
It's all about the bass.
No.
Oh.
You don't remember the song that she sings in the movie that we reviewed?
I got a mom, and she's the best mom.
Yeah. She's the best mom, and she's the bomb. No one's better than my mom.
I forgot about that.
Oh boy.
Being a mom's hard.
Being a mom's hard. Making the packed lunches. Making costumes. Looking at their screens.
Watch her Mother's Day review.
Yeah, there's much more Penny Marshall impressions of it.
Yeah. So anyway.
So that happened.
Yeah, so Kardashians, the musical.
It starts, and it's 2006. We have a medley between Britney Spears, who is Peppermint.
Yep.
Sasha, who is Lindsay Lohan, and Trinity, who is Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
They were all, like, fine for me. I don't know.
The roles weren't very good, though. See, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, none of it was funny.
Well, you know what it was, too? It was all pre-recorded.
Well, sure.
But, no, when they did the musical on, like, Adore and Courtney's season, they had to sing. But everybody had to sing.
I guess that's true.
It lost some of the emotion for me. It was like they couldn't do as much with it because it was just recorded. I don't know. I just got this
I mean, it worked fine in All Stars 2. Annie Oakley.
Yeah, but they're like all-stars, Andrew. They are all-stars. And that was better. I mean, I guess Sasha's Lindsay was like...
I literally didn't remember. I kept the whole episode, I was like, who was Sasha again? It must have been some girl I didn't know. And then I just literally, right when you said it, I was like, oh shoot, that's right, she was Lindsay.
It was a lot of like, I'm talking like the devil.
But she didn't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So that was
that was a choice that was made for her.
There was no opportunity really for them to make these parts their own, right? Because they're already doing an impression of somebody.
Right. Right. I think that's the big thing is like you're impersonating.
On top of the fact that you're not singing your own thing, so
right.
You can't do your own thing with it.
You can't write it yourself or influence
really
the writing.
change the choreography. Like, it was just...
Yeah, it was like, you must do these things and somehow still be you, but also be this other person.
But also stand out, but also do this, but also work as a group. It was confusing.
There were very few opportunities to actually do that. And Alexis and Shea had the best opportunities for that.
Because of the parts.
Perhaps Farrah could have had one of those, like, breakout roles. From what they were saying, at least. Whoever the girl that she was.
Kylie?
The other one.
Kendall,
I don't know.
One of the younger ones.
Yep. I guess there was like, there was definitely some sort of suggestive thing with a bottle.
I guess she has big lips, or something about her lips are...
Injected.
Are a thing. Would a bottle like...
It seemed like she was putting
a baby bottle.
There was like a thing where like, I guess she like...
What, like pretended to suck off a bottle? Oh, I thought they meant like a baby bottle. Like, oh, I'm doing this, like I have a pacifier. Like,
no, I think I think she like I don't know.
We're not the people to...
We're not.
Unfortunately, judge this. But I mean, they should... It's the same thing like I always say with Snatch Game, where there's been people who have done people I don't know who they are, and I still find it funny because they're funny.
Right.
So Cynthia's is Kim.
Yeah.
Her lip sync is off.
Just a sloppy mess.
Entire time.
Yeah.
Just, like, totally off. It was crazy.
Yes.
And then Alexis comes out as Chris. She was great.
She was great.
She had the look. She nailed it.
Yeah.
It was her challenge to win.
Absolutely.
She's the Broadway queen.
Absolutely.
So I was like, she's doing great. I love it. I actually thought Nina did a great job.
I thought so too. Her lip sync was on point.
Her lip sync was totally on.
And I thought she looked great. I mean, I don't know what she was supposed to look like, but...
So then Valentina and Farrah come out.
Yes.
And Farrah still cannot play patty cake.
Just can't get it.
And they have a sort of reggae...
It was weird.
Their song, their verse was definitely worse.
Yeah. I'm over it. Are we done?
Well, we haven't talked about Shea or Eureka.
Well, okay, oh my god. So Shea was fabulous.
Shea was fabulous. But
she had like a dance break and whatever, and...
It had, like you said, the most opportunity. It was like, oh, she gets to come on and be like, all y'all leave, I get my solo, and then do a dance by herself.
Yeah.
And yes, she totally pulled it off and did it great, but it was sort of like, well, this was...
Yes.
Here you go.
Handed to you. And then they're like, oh, cut to 2025.
I thought it would have been way funnier if Eureka was literally playing the baby. A baby.
Also, like, because then she could be in a stroller and not have to move.
Exactly. Well, she gave me no personality. If anything, the Northwest character could have done the most with it because it's a baby. We don't know what her personality is, right?
Sure.
So you have free reign to like play with that, right? Where you're not trying to do an impression because it's a fucking baby. So that would have been kind of an opportunity, and I think she probably wasn't in the bottom because of things that become apparent later. Oh yeah. Because she would have had to lip sync from a chair. Having this be the like royal family of America was like, I hate this.
Right.
Like I was just like, oh, this fucking shit. Like
yeah.
But anyway, so
at least give me like some Beyonce, like that at least would have been, you know.
And then they could have had Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams, and like through her life or whatever, and Blue Ivy could have been a character. Yes. That would have been kind of great.
Like a Dreamgirls knockoff.
Well, and then Jennifer Hudson could show up and steal her Oscar.
Yes.
I mean, like that would have been great.
Yeah.
I like that idea much better.
Category is Faux Fur Fabulosity. Fabulous.
Category is Faux Fur Fabulous.
I think Fabulosity would have been better, but whatever. So first on the runway, Peppermint. I liked a lot of it, but again, oh my god, like Michelle later said everything I was thinking. I was like, why is she wearing the same horrible pink skirt from last week?
I mean, it wasn't the same, but it was the same. This was very much like if Frenchie from Grease joined the Dreamgirls or something. It was just like, oh, she's part of the Supremes. Like Frenchie joined the Supremes. And her shrug, I actually really liked her shrug. It looked like it was just made of like Hostess snowballs. It was different. I feel like a lot of people went Russian, that direction.
Yes, like mink.
Mink, like cold weather.
Yes.
And this was like, oh, this is different.
That's true. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
So the next up is Trinity Taylor.
I I had to stare at this for a while. It was like Daryl Hannah in Clan of the Cave Bear, but like by way of like the Watusi, you know, where she had like the hat.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
It was crazy. It was almost like she almost looked like an animal that had like been mauled by a cheetah.
It just really looked like she fell into a costume trunk full of, you know, for the Lion King or something.
Exactly.
You know, and then she came out. It was just like head to toe.
Yeah. I mean, I like didn't hate it, but I was like, this is real wacky.
I didn't hate it, but I hated it.
A little bit,
You
right?
know?
Yeah.
So then next was Sasha Velour.
I thought she nailed it.
I thought it looked great.
She looked really great. She was having fun on the runway, like her Russian dancing.
Yeah, it was like a traditional Russian garb, but it looked like her hat was really giving me some Marge Simpson. Like it was real.
Yep.
It
Sure.
seemed higher. Like usually it's like a squared off muff. This was like almost like a Buckingham Palace guard or something. It was real high, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Now what would have been even better is if that was a wig and not a hat.
Yes.
That would have been like, oh my god.
That's true. I would also love to see her and Katya do like a Russian runway.
Sure. I mean, I want to see Katya all the time, anytime.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity for Katya to show up, I'm voting yes.
So then next up, Alexis Michelle.
This is the thing. She comes out and she's all
wrapped up.
And I was like, oh, she's got a secret. What's it gonna be? And then she opens her dress and it's like a dress from Old Navy and you're like, what the fuck? I literally went, what? It's like, oh, she just lost the challenge. Like I literally was like, oh, and you just handed it to Shay.
It was so weird. It was like a girl went shopping at Forever 21.
With the Roman sandals?
Yes,
with knee-high
yes.
Roman sandals and like a Forever 21 dress.
And then just wrapped herself up in her mom's fur coat.
Well,
it was like, what's this narrative?
She tried to explain it and be like, oh, it's Studio 54, whatever. And I was like, that didn't look like Studio 54 at all. It was wild. It should have just been like Princess Leia's gold bikini under there or something. That would have been good.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been a lot of things under there, and it would have been better.
Here's the thing. It could have been a lot of things under there. I was not expecting it to be like a $15 dress from Old Navy, where you're like, I was like, oh.
Clearly I guess because they filmed it right after All Stars, that she hadn't seen Tatiana say, well, I learned you don't go shopping at Wet Seal.
Well, Wet Seal doesn't exist anymore. But Old Navy is the new Wet Seal, so I mean, come on. Sidebar, went to the mall the other day, walked past the Hot Topic.
Oh my gosh.
And you know how Hot Topic is like, oh, we have things for people from the age of 13 to 16, right? And like really specific. Like it used to be like, and here's a Daria shirt. And like a, you know, like a really specific pop culture age thing.
That's true.
Walked by that Hot Topic, didn't even recognize a thing. Wasn't even like, oh, that's that thing that I don't watch. It was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's from the internet. I don't know if it's a music thing. I don't know if it's a movie thing. I was baffled.
So you felt really old.
I felt very old. I was just like, and then I stood and looked for a while and was like, I don't know what that is. Next on the runway, Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
This.
Well, she comes out and she looks like Padme.
Yeah.
Right, you're like, oh, she's on Hoth, it's cold there. And then, although I don't know if Padme ever went to Hoth.
She did not, I don't think.
I don't think she ever did.
Whatever.
But Hoth certainly existed.
Maybe she went on vacation sometime.
It certainly, well, you wouldn't really go on vacation to Hoth, it's frozen.
It's frozen, that's
But
true.
you know, maybe she went skiing on vacation in Hoth. I don't know the answers. But anyway, she comes out looking like Padme at a ski chalet.
Yeah.
And then she flops it down and she's just wearing a carpet.
Well, but it was like a Snuggie meets like a big carpet, yeah. Like she looked like she had like a moving blanket made out of fur wrapped around her.
It was like a piano blanket.
Right?
It was like,
yeah, like what is
real
this?
good insulation. It was weird.
Yeah. At first, when she first flipped it down, I was like, oh. And then they show her, and I'm like, oh no. Put it back up. Put it back. Have we tried hair up, glasses on?
Next, down the runway.
Nina Bonina.
Newton-John, comes out looking like Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
I mean, I wrote that down before
they said it.
Before they said it, I was like, oh yes, this Mary J. Blige.
We all were feeling it.
It's a very like Mary J. Blige, 90s, going to get milk in the middle of winter in Chicago.
You know who I would love to be a guest judge?
Emma Thompson.
Oh my God, yes. That's not who I was thinking, but yes.
Yes.
However, somewhat similarly, a different fabulous British lady.
Kate Winslet?
Older, more fabulous, well...
Judi Dench. Helen Mirren.
Starts with a J. She's literally the most fabulous British woman.
Judy Davis.
Julie Andrews! So I would love her, and then she could promote her Netflix show or something.
Oh, I saw some ad for that.
I haven't watched it. I set it to, I added it to my list. Because I was like, oh, Julie Andrews? Okay, I'll watch it.
It has some, long name.
It's like Julie Andrews, not dressing room.
House of Singing and Fabulosity.
I love that. But I want that to be like the Julie Andrews, like the House of Julie Andrews. Singing in Fabulosity. That I'm on board for.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. The House of Andrews. What were we talking about?
Nina.
Bonina. Banana Fofana.
Zeta Jones.
Yes. She looked gorgeous. I love this look. I thought she looked lovely.
Lovely is not the word I would use.
Fine. But her makeup, I don't know.
She looked fabulously slutty.
It didn't seem that slutty to me. Next up. Ginny, Aja! This was fine.
It was cute.
It was cute. Oh my God.
It was cute, and then she opened the coat. So she comes out, she looks like a little snowball.
Yeah, she's
got her Dame Edna hair on and little earmuffs, and you're like, oh, she's like a cute little snowflake or something. Yeah. And then she opens it, and she has a very elaborate and unflattering bathing suit.
She doesn't wear bras that look good.
Well, she doesn't pad, and she wears triangle tops.
Yeah, it's not a flattering, sensual, sexy shape, you know?
She looked like a stripper. I'm behind this big muff. Oh, what's underneath? And then it was like, haha, I've got this slutty outfit on, and now I'm gonna, or whatever. And
slowly take that off.
It was sort of like in Gypsy, how they all have a thing, I'm Miss Electra, I'm all these things or whatever, and I was like, oh, she's Miss Ice
Slut.
Ice Slut. Real classy. I was gonna make some sort of ice caps joke.
Oh, tip of the iceberg? Just the tip of the iceberg? That would be Carson's pun.
If that was, she's Miss Just the Tip of the Iceberg. Not mad about it. Coming up next, down the runway, Miss
Just the Tip of the Iceberg. Her taste level is still questionable for me.
I feel like she is in the tacky 90s, but doesn't realize it.
Yes.
So it's not a reference. It's not like, ooh, I'm going to this 90s ice rave. That's a story I want to hear, and that's a party I want to see. This is just this is fashion forward, and I'm like, it is not.
I kind of love the idea of a drag queen whose name is Stefan, who just
creates all of Stefan.
The looks are just outfits that would be worn to one of New York's hottest clubs.
Yes. As an art installation piece.
Yeah.
Sasha would do that.
Right? And coming down the runway is DJ Baby Bok Choy.
From the club Splurge.
I think it might have been from So next down the runway, Valentina. I loved this.
Looking like another Hollywood glamour queen.
Yes.
She just looks like Sophia Loren every week. It's oh, and this is a new look by Sophia Loren.
Yeah. This is Anaconda Sophia Loren.
Oh my gosh. I love this whole thing except the wig.
Yeah, you did not like the wig.
Well, it looked like a helmet.
It was a little
She looked
too...
like Lord Helmet. She was like,
yeah.
You know, it was a lot.
That's true.
And it wasn't like god awful, but it was definitely like, what happened? I think it got away from you. At what point did this wig get away from you, girl?
Girl to girl, when did you lose control of this wig?
When I got the wig.
It was very like if Sofia Vergara was going to a 1940s red carpet.
I could see that. Sofia Vergara or Salma Hayek?
Both. They got the ladies.
The twins.
The quadruplets.
Oh, so then next up was Pheromone.
This was terrible.
I didn't hate it.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a few different things.
Where is she going? She looked like, you
I don't
know,
know.
if Poison Ivy was going to the club. Like, it was like, what is this?
A little bit.
She, like, dyed Shangela's bare arms green.
Yep.
And, you know, had her Ariel hair on. It was definitely like, fuck you, Dad. I'm leaving the sea. I'm going to the club, and I'm going to marry Eric, and you can just fuck off. I'm going to do some ecstasy at the club, and you can't do anything about it. That was the story she told me. Maybe it was great.
I was going to say, there you go. There is a story behind it.
Maybe it was great. Although I think you're in trouble when most of your outfit is a necklace.
Was that a necklace?
Yes.
Huh. But I loved it.
The necklace itself was great. If she had literally had a nude illusion with just the necklace and then like a classy fur. And then she was like, oh, done what Alexis did and been like, oh, what's under the, aha.
Yeah.
That would have been fabulous.
That would have been fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I did keep imagining this narrative of like, fuck you, Dad. I'm staying out all night with Eric. I've got my legs. I'm going to go dance. You can't stop me from dancing. Then it just turned into Footloose. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. It's Ariel meets Footloose. So then next up, Shea Coulee. I loved this.
It was everything.
It really was great.
I mean, it was a little bit of like a club kid and a little bit of like Naomi's neon tennis look. You know, her face was beat.
Yep.
I don't have much to say about this because it was fucking fabulous.
She walked out, I was like, oh, she won.
So then last down the runway, Eureka. This was terrible.
And terrifying.
It definitely looked like 8 Muppets vomited on her, right? It was just like
Also, it looks like an open wound that has been like stitched together with like neon green stitches.
With fur and
like
stuff?
Fur
like
stitches.
Tufts.
Like,
There was like a lot of different, because it was like, there was like faux fur, but then there was like faux hair coming off of it.
And then Ru was like, you're safe. And I was like, oh, so are they just like giving her a pass? How's that gonna play out? Like, how long does that go for this season where it's just like, Eureka, you have a handicap,
like,
so
we
like...
don't want you to sue us.
Right? This look for me, I don't remember as much from the runway as I do of her getting pushed in the wheelchair.
Oh boy.
It was like Elizabeth Taylor had just like finished a run of like the weirdest production of Cats you've ever seen.
It was like neon cats. Where's your tail?
Jellicle cat! Jellicle cat! Like, what is happening? It was so weird.
It was like some Dr. Seuss, you know, did cats or something. Right? It was like, oh, what's this though? What's this? What's going on? What's happening here? So Ru gives Nina a pep talk.
Yes, a much needed. I mean, like, you know, it was like, girl, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And Shea and she had a really good conversation on Untucked.
Loved.
That I think was possibly more valuable than Ru's.
Think about every little brown girl out there that anyone has told that they didn't deserve it, that they weren't worth it, and that it was too much for them to want it. You do it for all of them. We are doing this for more than just us. Do not give up.
I was glad that Ru was like, why are you like paranoid and crazy about like these conspiracy
Well, and she
theories?
was like,
Don't let that sabotage your opportunity here.
She hasn't really stolen the spotlight since the first episode.
no.
And I'm ready for her to, and I feel like she's kind of been doing that to herself.
Well, and we'll see. Snatch Game is next week.
Yeah. If you haven't watched our Snatch Game predictions and you want to know before tomorrow's episode, then go click that link right up there. So Shea wins. Yes. Farrah and Cynthia are in the bottom.
Yes.
And they lip sync to Meghan Trainor's newest song,
Woman Up. This song was terrible.
It was whatever. The lip sync was bad. Okay, when a girl who can't get the words right for the song is beating you.
Well, it was so boring. I mean, this song was like whatever for a lip sync.
But it's still like, woo woo, yeah, girls.
Stop trying to defend this song. It was insane to me that, like, I was like, at least thank God Cynthia got out of that horrible dress, right? It was like, okay, but it wasn't even a show. It wasn't like, and now I'm gonna get,
No, not really. Yeah, like, ooh, the spur.
And I just dropped it off. No, it was just like, oh, shit, I gotta get out of this fucking dress so I can dance.
But also, that dress was so cumbersome that how else was she supposed to get out of it?
I mean, and then Farrah was just real low energy.
Really low energy.
And I didn't understand it until I watched Untucked. It still is not a justification for it.
I understood, after watching Untucked, I understood why she was so emotional.
I understood why she was so emotional. I understood why neither of them seemed to have a killer instinct. Like,
right.
We'll do a nice job. I was seriously ready for them to be like, double elimination. This shit's terrible. So Ru was like, I've made my decision. And then a PA walks up to her, or a producer or something, walks up to her and she's like,
I need a moment.
And the second that PA walked up to her, I was like, oh, so Eureka is leaving.
Really? See, I was like, oh, so it's going to be double elimination.
No, I was like, oh, so they're going to be like, Eureka, you can't, like, medical reasons, you're out.
I mean,
Triple elimination?
Right. Just like, and now we're down to 8. I wanted her to just be like, okay, look. It's very sad to lose Eureka, but if you bitches ever lip sync like that again, you're both going home.
It was terrible. I mean, what if they had done a redo? If they had been like, if Eureka hadn't just left, I was going to send both y'all home. I'm giving you a second chance, and then the next episode starts with their lip sync to a different fucking song.
I love it.
And in good conscience, I cannot allow you to continue in the competition.
So they send Eureka home. I mean, the bullshit about it is just that it's like the reason, more or less, that she got hurt was because of that nonsense cheerleading challenge.
Another fallen soldier.
Another injury. Like, I don't know if they're gonna get like this show insured for another season.
They're certainly never doing that again.
Right? Like, they're never doing anything physical. I felt bad for her because, you know, it was one of those things where it wasn't like it was something that she had done or whatever. And it's like, how shitty. Although, I will say this.
But then Ru is like,
you have an open invitation to return next season.
We'll see about Eureka, like, you know, what kind of following she's gotten and like how it changes coming into this next season. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, is she gonna step her pussy up now, having seen how it works, having seen how she's received and whatever. So let's talk about Untucked.
This week on Untucked.
This was actually a pretty good Untucked.
It was fine.
I don't know, there were some fun moments.
Well, the first half is like, they're all sitting around just being like, meh, 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 and then everyone keeps being like, oh my God, Eureka, you look so cute. Girl, you really did it. Girl, you made it down that runway. Girl, you look so cute. And I was like, you guys are bad friends.
You looked so cute.
She looked terrible.
She looked like Mr. Mistopheles Neon. And now here's the stoning corner with Valentina.
My favorite crystals of all time.
What's AB mean?
Aurora Borealis.
And then she was showing like her shoes that she like stoned, like, that she put stones on the bottom of the shoes. I'm like, yes. Like a little Louboutin, but instead of red, it's
stones.
Rhinestones, yeah.
I just love stoning. It feeds my soul.
She's so funny.
Do you guys know this song? Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
And then they all start singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I was like, what's going on?
I wonder where you are.
What are some rights-free songs that we can sing on Untucked, you guys? Like, I don't know what was happening.
Start singing Amazing Grace for no reason. Like, what's going on?
Right? I was so confused, and it was never brought up.
It was never dread. And then they just start being like,
I need some more vocal lessons.
was weird.
It was so weird.
They seemed so bored. Like, they're like, I don't know, we gotta do something.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I do really want one of those Hamburger Mary's bootleg, fishnet, whatever. I think it's silly.
Only if it comes in a box marked Fragile. Then I would appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I did love, though, too, when Valentina was talking to Farrah, and she's like, she gave her that real good, like, pep talk.
Yeah, she gave her a full pep talk, and then she goes,
Drink that cocktail for inspiration.
practically to camera. I love Valentina. I really like her.
I was like, yes!
Good, drink up that cocktail.
You are doing God's work, Valentina.
She should have drank more of that cocktail.
Yeah.
Then we find out that Cynthia and Farrah apparently
worked
together.
And Farrah got her start because Cynthia gave her a shot.
We didn't know any of this. I didn't even know they knew each other. It seemed like it would be a perfect opportunity when they brought Cynthia back for Farrah to be like, oh my god, Cynthia, she gave me my start.
When all the girls in Austin didn't give me a chance, Cynthia always believed in me and always saw the talent in me and always saw that there was a star in me.
Right, because if you didn't see this, which I didn't see it until after I watched the blip,
you'd be like,
why?
Something was going on.
Something, right, exactly. It was like, there's something weird here, and she's so emotional, and you're like, what's happening? And then it's like, oh, I wish we'd fucking known that, they knew each other and whatever.
That Cynthia was her mentor.
Exactly.
In some ways. It was odd. It was very odd. So then, the best part of this episode. Alexis is like...
Hey, ladies, do you mind coming over here?
I can come over for a little bit.
Okay, so here's what I need to say.
Now, I just want to talk about how I've given everyone advice and I treat you a certain way and I tell you if you look busted and I don't understand why none of you told me that my outfit was basic. And I was like, what now?
Did nobody think to say to me, girl, what are you doing with that dress? Because I think I'm not going to win today because of this dress.
My favorite moment was when Farrah goes,
I'm gonna listen to my thing so I can just stay here. So
I'm not done. I'm not done.
What the fuck was that?
Everyone hostage.
I would have just been like, look, bitch, I don't need you to go off on me about why I didn't tell you that you were wearing an ugly-ass blue dress. You wear that ugly-ass blue dress and you get kicked off the show instead of me. That's not my job.
So everyone was like, first they were all like, I don't know, you mean, we all thought it was cute. And then it comes out, Eureka says, girl, you're not the easiest person to talk to. I wouldn't think it would be okay for me to come up and be like, this outfit's basic because you might go off on me. And then Nina is like...
I love that Nina, again, was just splayed out on the...
It is now Nina's ottoman. Yeah. At some point she just turns around. Yeah. She was like, girl, I can't. But then there was this really funny, when Alexis first says, how come no one told me? There's a really long, funny look between Sasha and Shay.
I know.
Sasha is like, can you fucking believe this? And Shay is like, girl, I know what? And it wasn't addressed at all, but it was so funny. I think the better thing to say would be, I've helped some of you in the past. I realize that this is a basic look. Next week, further down the line, I would really like it. I would invite you guys to say, hey, maybe you want to rethink this.
I would appreciate if you guys...
I had tunnel vision and I really should have asked you guys for advice, but it didn't. And so now I'm opening that door. Yeah. That would have been the way to handle it.
Exactly.
But instead, it was very rude.
It was. And it was just...
I feel like Farrah tried to leave multiple times to be like, I have to go practice my lip sync. And she was like, I'm not done talking. I am not done lecturing you about how you guys should have told me that I was bad. And then I should have then retroactively, I was like, what is this? This is a mess.
If I see something, I say something.
So Eureka is packing up.
Oh my God.
And she puts on this houndstooth Viking helmet hat.
With the eye cutouts and
I am excited that it seems like everyone that's going home is wearing increasingly sillier hats. Last week was Charlie's, and this week, so then when Cynthia goes home, it's just going to be a fruit basket on top of her head. It's just and then she's going to hand out the fruit to the PAs, and it's a whole thing. It'll be great.
Oh my God. So I will say, Eureka leaving.
Well, so the whole episode I was like, Eureka, you you really I don't want to say won me over, but you made a lot of groundwork.
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't shut the fuck up when she was leaving.
Right? I was watching, I was just like, shut up! Just shut up!
Y'all gonna be so bored? Well, be yourself to free yourself, honey, and take good care of yourself, bitch, because you never know when you're gonna give out. So y'all stay tuned, stay fierce, and bitch, y'all know you found it. It's Eureka. Bye. East Tennessee, here I come, honey. Bye, Hollywood. I love you. What we had was so great.
She's like in the van and she's like, okay, well, bye, going back to Tennessee. I'm the big girl. Okay, well, don't worry, you found me, because like Eureka, and like you're gonna find me again, and I'll be back, and it's season 10, and like, hey girls, and like, bye, you're gonna miss me, bye, bye. And I was just like,
well, so cheers, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, tell all your friends, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr and Facebook.
Yep.
And please, please, please support our patreon.com/MovieBitches.
oh my gosh, even if it's just $1 a month, we're so appreciative. That would be so cool.
We really are. And it just means that way, like, the more you guys donate, the more that we can just focus on making more content. So, and that's what we want to do. We want to see shitty movies and talk about that.
I mean, come on. Unforgettable is in theaters, and I can't wait.
Can't wait. Here's to Snatch Game.
Oh, fuck.
I'm very excited for tomorrow.
I am worried.
Oh my god, I'm a little worried too. Because, like,
they've kicked off most of the comedy queens so far. It's gonna be a train wreck.